Hey, it's the Andy Social Podcast, episode 221. Here we are. It's Sunday night again. If anybody that was listening last week would have heard me have a minor meltdown, attempt to try and pronounce a bunch of names, try and string a sentence together, struggle quite a bit. And I must say this week, I feel a hell of a lot better than I did last week or even the week before, really. I mean, I don't know. I think, actually, well, I know exactly what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. So it was Saturday yesterday. It's Sunday evening, this evening. And I spoke last week about the problems or the issues that I had or the challenges that I felt I had recording on Sunday evenings. So you can go back and listen to the meltdowns on the last couple of episodes. But yesterday I was sitting around and I said to Jess, I think what I need to do is I need to attack Sunday. I need to just hit the ground running, smash through the day, no moping about or just being a lazy sack of shit or just, this is not a day of rest. It should never be a day of rest. No days of rest. But for me, anyway, so I figured, okay, let's map out my day. Let's make sure I get super productive. Let's get the blood pumping. Let's do a whole bunch of stuff that's going to set me up for success. It's going to increase my chances of getting to where I am right now so I can dribble more shit for all of you lovely people. So what I did is I woke up at 6 this morning, which is not super early for me, but has been earlier than I've been getting up recently, because to be honest, when you don't have to drive anywhere and you're not really going anywhere and you just walk from the bedroom to the office to the lounge room to the kitchen, and I'm in a small apartment, so it's pretty much almost all the same room for the most part. Well, there's so many excuses to just stay in bed a little bit longer. And I don't know about you guys, but at least down here in the Southern Hemisphere, things are starting to get a little bit cooler. Not cold, not freezing, but just cool. And just enough where you sort of like, you're a little bit snug in bed and you're like, oh, just wait a bit longer, so anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but, got up at 6, which is pretty good considering the last few days. And by 6:30, we were out the door, Jess and I, and we went for a walk. Walked through Piedmont and over Piedmont Bridge and around the back of Cockle Bay Wharf, and then back around to our place in Piedmont. Got home, had breakfast, and then I just started my day. And I did 2 podcasts today, got them done. I'll talk about them in a moment. And also went out on another walk and did a similar sort of, I've got this like typical track that I go on. For anyone that's been listening to previous episodes, I've been had been timing my little maze that I go through in the back of Piedmont, but haven't been doing that for a while. But I went and did that second walk, and that was really good, and came home and just fixed up a few things for this week for the podcast and just some other shit that I need to tick off the list. And here we are. So I'm recording. I've got a lazy yak with me, and life is a hell of a lot better than it was a week ago. Fucking hell. But I also think that it's not just today, because in the last week I've been super busy, and I'm always trying to do things, but sometimes I feel like I'm acting busy and creating this illusion, like I'm sort of just being busy, being in a state of busyness, but not actually getting anything done, just doing a bunch of shit that doesn't really matter. But this week I did a hell of a lot more. I was very very productive and getting a lot of stuff done. So I think coming into this evening, and I've got another week ahead, and this week's a bit of a nightmare with just a lot of commitments, and I've committed to a bunch of things that I've got to follow through with. So great when you have these amazing ideas and you start to commit yourself to things, and then later on you go, oh man, I don't know if I should have done that. So this week ahead's going to be pretty full on, but I'm feeling good about it and optimistic, which is always a good thing. So so I'm in a better state than I have been. But so this week just gone, I've recorded a bunch of podcasts. So I'll share those ones with you. So spoiler alert for anybody that gets a little bit funny about they want to be surprised when these episodes come out. So I did one with Ryan from Shadowbrain, and Alkira and a bunch of other bands that he's played in over the years, from Adelaide. And Shadowbrain's just released a new album. A new album will be out. When's this coming out? Tuesday morning. Pretty sure it's the end of this week. I'm pretty sure it's the 1st of May, I think. Actually, let me look that up. Why not? I have my laptop in front of me, so let's just do it. Shadowbrain. There you go. So Shadowbrain's from Adelaide. And just for those that don't know, their new album, Pitchfork Justice. There you go, 1st of May. So this Friday. So I assume that it will be on all the streaming services. But if you got a spare few coin, that's great English. You can go over to their what do they got? Let's plug them. So it says shadowbrainmetal.com. Now, but what's their actual store? I wonder if they have a Bandcamp page. I don't think they do. I love that I can just waste time on these podcasts. I know that you all really enjoy that as well, but I don't feel the pressure because I'm not actually speaking to anybody, so they're not there's no awkwardness happening. I can just make myself feel awkward, and then you can all feel awkward afterwards. So where are we? Merch. There's a merch page. Where's that taking me? Got a pretty good website as well. They've got a standalone web store via Squarespace, so it must be. So go to shadowbrainmetal.com, click on merch, and it takes you down, and there's a few different options here. There's t-shirt packs, vinyl, fucking what else? Or is that it? Hang on. Anyway, I'm getting awfully. Oh no, there's heaps of fucking shit. Okay, great. So they got the CD. Digipack CD. They've got combos for shirts and CDs, or combos with shirts and vinyl. Some long sleeves. Oh, they got shorts are sold out. Their demo CDs there. Oh, that's pretty cheap. Fuck. All right. Maybe I should load up on some stuff. Oh man, they've fucking, how much fucking merch have they got? All right, I've been inspired. Maybe I need to go and print some stuff. They got stubby holders, patches, caps. They got a back patch, singlets. They got some old vinyl there. There you go, folks. I know there's a few of you Aussie metal collectors out there, so go and pardon me, go and check that out. But anyway, went off on a tangent there. So Ryan from Shadowbrain I caught up with, and we had a great chat. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it went for fucking ages. So what I decided, especially keeping in mind what I've been speaking about for the last few weeks, is starting to get repeat guests, like people come back on. So what I'm going to do is split Ryan's episode into two, and I'll do whenever. Actually, I'll get to that in a moment as far as scheduling all these things, because fuck, I've gone overboard again. But I'll put part one out at some stage, and then I will put part two out several weeks later. I'm going to, because anyone that's been listening to Antisocial for a while would remember I did a part one, part two with Jono from Tabra, which was really good. It was a great chat. But I pretty much released them both at the same time, I believe, and in the same week, and they were just out there, which is good. But I kind of like the idea of just trying something a bit different, and so I'll put part one out, and then I'll leave it a few weeks and put some other episodes in between, and then I'll put part two out, and two. Where I'm thinking I'm going to split it in half, two very different chats as well. So, so I think people really dig it, but hopefully, that'll be out sometime soon. Also had a chat with, I think I mentioned last week, I had a chat with Curtis Dewar from Dewar PR. Whew. And so I did a round two with him. So once again, a repeat guest. So I'm going to do a similar sort of deal. I'll put the first one that I did with Curtis about a week or so ago up, and then I'll leave it a few weeks in between. Then I'll put the second one up, and we had to stop ourselves from talking. So we've always got shit to talk about. A lot of just ideas bouncing backwards and forwards, and insight and sort of perspectives on different things, especially for DIY bands and PR and all that sort of stuff. So anyone in a band out there will really get something out of these chats. So who knows? I might do some more with him down the track. But really great chats. So I think people will enjoy those. What else? Oh, today, of course. I caught up with a gentleman by the name of Tom Tanuki. So you can check him out on, he's on fucking Facebook and Instagram. You can go to, I think it's tomtanuki.net. So TOMTANUKI. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me share some of his not Insta stories, but his Instagram videos. Really, really funny guy. He's a bit of an activist. He's got his own podcast, which is called, let me grab my notebook here. I'm loving how I can just waste everyone's time here. This is great. And then you can hear all these pages, which makes it sound like I'm doing something really important at the moment. Sort of like walking around an office with a clipboard hear that? Very important. He's got a podcast called The Poor Can Feed the Birds. So if you're a bit of a, he's a bit of an activist. He's a fucking funny guy. He does a lot of comedy. I think a lot of people out there will really dig it. He definitely ruffles some feathers. But I had an absolute ball chatting to him today. He doesn't hold back. Real fucking ocker guy as well. Really, really good chat. So hopefully people will enjoy that one. And this afternoon I caught up with Nat from Nat's What I Reckon. He's been, I guess, going all right the past several weeks with his fucking cooking videos. I think he's averaging about 5 or 6 million hits a video. So if you haven't seen them, well, I mean, that's okay. No worries. But you've probably been living in a cave compared to everybody else. It's just insane how many hits he's getting, and people that have never known who he is in the past are now talking about him and sharing his videos. So you can see that his little empire is expanding rapidly. So I caught up with him quickly this afternoon, had a quick chat, only a short one, but that's the third time that Nat will be on the podcast, and that'll be really good. So I'm thinking about putting Nat's one out next week, and pushing a couple of people back. I was trying not to push some of these people back because they've been pushed back quite a bit, but not because, anyway, I'm not going to go into why. It's not that anybody's any less than anybody else, but sometimes it's good to strike while the iron's hot, if you know what I mean. Good chat with Nat. So hopefully people will get a kick out of that. You can listen to the old episodes with Nat, episode 111 and episode 156, I believe, are the episodes with him. So go back and have a listen to them, and then I'll have part 3 up probably in the next week or two. So we'll see how that goes. But that was good. So with all those chats and a couple of double episodes there, I'm sort of looking at, I think I've got some podcast recordings booked out for this week coming. Some very early morning starts for some international people, and some more repeat guests, people that haven't been on for a few years. So I'm going to get some people back. So I've been thinking about that quite a bit. So that'll be good. But by the time I think once these people are already done, that they're recorded, and I'm starting to get them fixed, cleaned up and edited. And then I think the people from this week that I've got locked in, I'm pretty much recorded up until July or mid-July. So I mean, we're what's today? The 26th of April, Sunday the 26th of April today. So I have a decent buffer, and now I very quickly have got back into the position of going, well, maybe I need to slow down again, because I don't want to do another podcast and then tell somebody, well, it's going to be, 6 to 8 weeks minimum before your episode comes out, because it's sort of like, well, I'm sure most people don't give a shit, but I kind of feel a bit bad, because it's like, oh, I'm trying to, we're having a conversation here, and I want to sort of promote some of your stuff and put stuff out there, but by the way, it's going to be like at least 2 months before anybody hears it. So you kind of miss that moment. So I'm toying with some ideas about what I can do with all these episodes. I don't want to yeah, well, actually, sorry, I don't even know where I was going with that sentence, but yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. So I'll play it by ear. I was honestly thinking about ramping it up to 2 guests a week. I'm not sure if I'll do that, which is kind of the dumbest thing in the world for me to be doing at the moment, especially after been harping on about new or extra costs coming in that I have to account for. But I'm feeling a bit of a I don't know, a bit of podcast mojo. I'm feeling it at the moment. I'm on a bit of a roll, and I'm really enjoying these chats. Super easy to get a hold of a bunch of people that I've wanted to speak to for quite some time, and I'm really enjoying the fuck. I don't know if you can hear that. Someone's taps going off or pipes or whatever. Anyway, um, I'm really enjoying like the idea of like reconnecting with people again as well. So we'll see, but yeah, I have been thinking about the double episodes, so replacing Crazy Talk with a guest episode, so maybe doing it Tuesday night and then doing it Thursday night. But I don't know. I'll see what happens. That obviously comes with an extra cost. I have no issues with the frequency of the episodes. I don't mind that, and I know that not everyone can listen to that many podcasts, especially with everything else they listen to. But there's no rush for people to listen to these episodes either. They're not going anywhere. So I know people that are still, several months behind. People haven't even started listening to the episodes this year. So I'm not too worried. So by the way, hello to everybody that's listening to me crap on in about 3 or 4 years' time. So hey, how you doing? Hope you're well. This is me from the past. So yeah, I don't know. I'm spitballing some ideas. If anyone's got some suggestions, by all means, like let me know. I don't know. I'll talk about the Patreon stuff in a sec. And I did, like, for a very split second, think that maybe I could use some episodes for Patreon only people. But then I think I might feel a little bit bad about, I guess, capitalizing off somebody else in a way, if that makes sense. Like, it's just a weird thing. Like, hey, I'm going to have a chat to you, and then I'm going to make money off our conversation, which is basically a highlight of you. And not very many people are going to listen to it. So I don't think that's a very good idea. So I think Patreon stuff, it needs to be solo, needs to be stuff that, or stuff that has been agreed on in advance with somebody to say, hey, do you want to do an extra, I don't know, 20 minutes on a particular topic, or you want to do something dumb for Patreon or whatever it might be, and then I have to do some sort of agreement with that particular person. But yeah, so I think the only option that I'm really sort of throwing around at the moment, well, the two things is that I just have that lead time and I just keep going, and that takes a lot of pressure off, and I can just drip feed episodes each week, or I just up the ante and just do a couple a week and just see. Fuck those pipes! What the fuck's going on? I can see, just. Well, I don't even know what I was saying then. Just put 2 out a week, yeah, whatever. So we'll see what happens. I'll see how the old cash flow goes over the coming weeks or months. But it's nice to have a nice buffer there. I'm not chasing my tail and scratching my head or having anxiety thinking about, I've got to talk to somebody again or whatever. It's like I'm absolutely loving talking to people. As you can tell, I love just talking to myself and hearing the sound of my own voice. So I'm certainly on a roll at the moment. So while that's the case, I'm just going to, I may as well just bank them up, and then I can let people know afterwards that maybe it might be a while before the episode's out. I don't know. Anyway, oh, yeah, another spoiler as well. Next week's episode, this week's episode, because this is coming out this week. On Thursday night is a guy called Matthew Zengera. He is a geophysicist, a geologist. He's from Adelaide. He's one of the many people I caught up with in Adelaide. So you can tell all these Adelaide guests are dripping through the podcast, and I'm almost done for the time being. Mind you, I just did that one with Ryan. He's from Adelaide as well. But anyway, from my trip earlier in the year, they're almost done. But Matthew's a geologist and a geophysicist, and he's a bit of a metal fan. He's been coming to Lloyd gigs for years, and while I'm sure, I think I may have even mentioned this in the previous episode, I'm losing my mind. I can't remember when I've said things or recorded them. Maybe it was an intro for the episode itself. Anyway, whatever. I'm just going to repeat myself. But I've had drinks with him in the past at Lord gigs, and I just have this funny feeling that maybe he's mentioned it in passing, and I've gone, "Wow, that's really interesting," and then I've just completely forgotten about it straight away. So it wasn't until recently that somebody online tagged Matthew and said, "Hey, did you know?" And I sort of went, "Wow, no." And then after a while, I thought maybe I do, and so. Anyway, we caught up and had a really good chat, and I asked him a bunch of dumb questions, as you do, or as I do, I should say. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's a little bit different. It's not just sort of all music talk. We do a little bit of music talk, but mostly I just pick his brain about what he does for a living and try and get, I don't know, just a bit of an understanding of what his world's like. So hopefully people that enjoy those sort of non-music related episodes will get a kick out of that one. So that will be out Thursday night. I'll talk about Patreon. I've got a few other things, but Patreon. So where I'm at with that is, well, first of all, thank you. I don't know, fucking hyperventilating then. First, I don't think you guys can hear these pipes that just keep going. So it's just me. It's like people are listening. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, fuck. What the fuck? Can anyone? Hey, okay, sorry. It's just me. Only me. Only I can hear it. So just keep talking, Andy. Just keep fucking talking. Fuck. I really hope you guys can hear it. Anyway, whatever. Fuck. So, Patreon. So what's happening with that is, I've pretty much got the shell of it together. I've got a little bit of a spiel. It's nothing overly detailed or exciting. I shouldn't say not exciting, but like it's not some bombastic sort of amazing thing that I put together with some amazing storyline that creates a narrative around why you should support me and throw money at the podcast. Really, I'll sort of try and create that narrative when you guys hear me talk. It's the shell of it's there. I've created some tiers. I've more or less done what I mentioned last week with the tiers. So I'll see how that runs. I'll make some last minute decisions as to whether I adjust them or not. But I've got 3 tiers there. There'll be a $1 or $2, $1, I think, a $1, a $5, and a $10. And I won't go into the details. You can listen to the last episode because it's more or less exactly what I've mentioned last time. Everything's set up, ready to go. I could launch it right now. Pardon me. The only thing that's sort of holding me back at the moment is, okay. So I'm trying to work out how to, contact people when things are available. So if you're the second tier and you get the Crazy Talk episodes, and I'll explain a little bit more about what I'm doing with Crazy Talk, or just sort of put a bit more clarity around that in a moment. But I want to share these private feeds with you guys, like for the people that decide that you want to spend $5 a month, which would be fucking amazing. And I will have the Crazy Talk episode that will more than likely come out the same time, like this time, or it may be a different day. I don't know. I'll have to work it out. But it'll come out every week. So I need to work out what's the mechanics behind it? How does it actually work? So I can see with Wooshka, it gives me private links that I can share. And I think it only allows me like 100 links. So my interpretation of that is that they're individualized for one person only. Like I can't just create a private link and then just give that link to everybody, I think. I don't know. Maybe the individual links come with a code. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got to work that out. And then with Patreon, how it's structured, I'm not sure whether, when you select your tier, that you basically just go into 3 separate mailing lists, more or less. And then I just email that group, like message through the Patreon app or portal or whatever, with the RSS feed link. Something like that, then you guys can enter that into your podcast player and go from there. And I have to manually do that. Obviously, I wouldn't have to do that every week because, well, what I'm hoping is that it will just be one link for yourself, and then you'll be able to listen to new episodes as they drop through. I don't know. So this is a little bit, I wouldn't say outside my comfort zone, but my attention span starts to fucking get compromised pretty quickly. So I just need to work out what that looks like. If anyone's got any experience with this sort of stuff, by all means, shoot me a message and give me a bit of insight, especially people that have used Patreon in the back end. Let me know. I know Patreon have got some sort of RSS thing in there as well. So I just need to sit down and concentrate for probably 5 minutes. I'll work it out. So I've got to do that. The other thing I was doing is that Patreon, it's quite funny because when you sign up to Patreon as a creator, you get fucking ambushed with emails from Patreon, basically telling you like, you know, hey, here's a tip, here's some insight, here's something to think about, blah, 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 you know, and it's okay. Like it's informative stuff, it's constructive stuff, but fuck, they send a lot of emails. So one of them was offering a consultation call, a 15-minute call, free call, and you schedule in a time and a date and they call you. And then they, my impression of it anyway, was that I would have an opportunity to quickly ask a bunch of questions. So I would, for instance, ask about the RSS stuff and how do I message people on the certain tiers, and then, you know, how manual is this, or how much can I set up in advance so it's automated, etc. And I got an email. I locked in my time, and Patreon came back and then linked me with a consultant, and I got an email from that person, and more or less it was sort of saying, hey, looking forward to our scheduled conversation, blah, blah, blah. Here are the things that we're going to cover. And I thought, hang on, this is not a consultation. This is you just fucking drip feeding me pre-recorded shit. Like, this is like, and mind you, like the stuff that they're probably going to be telling me in this phone call is probably really valuable and helpful, but it just made it sound like this is not about me asking questions. This is about me just basically listening to somebody, just, and maybe even a pre-recorded message just telling me a bunch of information. So anyway, I locked that in. That was fine. But when I was on the phone to Curtis doing the podcast on Saturday morning, I mucked up and got the scheduled time wrong. I thought it was 10:45, but it ended up being 9:45. So I've got to edit out some incoming call dial tones if I remember. I might not. So eventually you'll listen to one of the episodes with Curtis, and you'll hear some dial tone sort of phone interruptions in there. So that'll be what it is. It's Patreon trying to fucking call me. So I missed those calls. Then I got a fucking WhatsApp message, and I got a fucking email, and it's like, hey, I missed your call, reschedule, blah, blah, blah. And that was yesterday morning, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And then today, just got like another 3 or 4 emails from Patreon, giving me all these little tidbits of information. So I just need to sit down. I need to read through everything. I need to look at everything they sent me, and then just fucking press the button and turn this shit on. The only other thing I've got to do as well is they say that it's not required. It's not like a critical thing, but I've noticed that some of the better or the more successful Patreon campaigns have like a little intro video. And I thought, like, I'm not big on this video shit, but I did that fucking god-awful fucking Lord one I did a few weeks ago. And I thought I could just easily just do one of them. Not dumb like that one, but just basically use the fucking Lord backdrop, set the camera up, and just do a quick little 30-second, hey guys, it's me, how you doing, give me money please, help me out, but just a really simple thing, not talk about the tiers, not talk about any detail, just a little introduction so people can put a face to the name who may not have already interacted with me previously, and just get a little bit of personal context behind what I'm doing. So I'm trying to work out what that is in my head. I've got to just flesh it out and just get it done. I've been sitting on that for the past few days. So I think a quick little 30-second howdy video will be a nice little additional touch to what I'm trying to do. So I have set some goals. So the way that I'm doing this with Crazy Talk is this episode, as it stands right now, will be the last Crazy Talk. Well, here we go, making big calls. The last Crazy Talk episode that I'll put out publicly for now, like as it stands. So this time next week, they will begin to be private if I can get my shit together. If not, then I'll come back with my tail between my legs and say, hey, here's another Crazy Talk that everyone can hear. But as of next week, they'll start to go private. They'll be for Patreon supporters, and I will continue to do some things that will add a little bit more flavor, a bit more color, do some dumb shit, whatever, do some prank calls. I don't know. I'll just something that's sort of, anyway, I don't know. I've got heaps of ideas, haven't verbalized them. So I'll just play that one by ear. But hoping from next week, so that'll be these won't have numbers either, or they'll start with new numbers. So I'm not sure exactly how the format's going to work as far as how they're labeled or anything like that. I'm not sure how people are going to access them. Maybe it'll be a direct download. You might still be able to stream them. I don't know how these private feeds work. I've got no idea. I've never done it before. So we'll play it by ear. But they'll be completely separate to the Indie Social podcast as far as episode numbers. So this one's episode 221, then 222 out on Thursday, and then 223 will be the next guest episode, and then it'll continue on after that. So there'll be no numbered crazy talks from this episode onwards if everything goes to plan. And I might just start numbering them again. The other idea I had... Actually, no, sorry. No, that's not worth talking about at the moment, Andy. Just shut the fuck up. Just no. That's a later thing. Stop overcommitting yourself to things that you know that more than likely you're not going to be able to follow up with and continue through with. Yep, you're talking out of your ass right there, Andy. So I'm going to call you out. So anyway, for goals this week is to basically launch Patreon, get it up and running, and I'm hoping. My goal is to hopefully, well, you tell me. I mean, this episode comes out on Tuesday morning. So I know that a fair chunk of you, and I know that the numbers aren't as big as the guest episodes because you get a lot of people that listen for the first time, depending on the guest, et cetera, but there's a core bunch of you that listen to every single episode from what I can see, at least this year. There's like this consistent sort of baseline number. So for you guys that usually listen or download the episode straight away, and you're listening to this and it's still Tuesday, shoot me a message or leave a message in the group, the Facebook group, the social. If you don't know how to find that, you can DM me or you can go through your junk mail and find the last social newsletter. There'll be a link in there. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. It's easy to find, searchable. It's just a private group. Leave a post or a message in the group and tell me when would be the best time, in your opinion, to launch a Patreon. When am I going to get everyone's attention? I'm pretty sure I know sort of ideas of when to do that, but I've got to think about, even though a lot of people are at home, not everyone's at home. Some people are working. So I need to sort of be, not just for people to be, like to release an episode, it's fine. There's no issues because I don't need people to listen to it straight away, and also people can multitask. They can listen to something while they're out and about and doing different things. But for Patreon, and especially to begin with, and to get like a little bit of buy-in and get people committed to it, is I need people to be able to actually like listen or see the post and click a few buttons on their phone or on their laptop or whatever the hell they're using, and actually make a decision. Like, do they want to just pay $1 a month and feel good, or do you want to do a little bit more, or whatever it might be? So I want to increase the chances that these people are going to have the mental space to be able to do that. Now, I could be overthinking that as far as time of day, et cetera, because I've got a lot of international folks that listen as well. But maybe what I'll do is, maybe even just for the Facebook group, is I might just give you guys some prior warning as well, so you guys can know in advance. It'll be sometime during the week. It won't be the weekend. So I'm thinking, maybe. Actually, it might have to be Friday, actually, because here's me like, hey guys, tell me what you think, and then I just work it out myself. It might have to be Friday because there's no point me doing it before. Oh, it doesn't really matter, but I was just thinking there's no point doing it before Thursday because I pre-recorded Thursday. I've pre-recorded the intros, the outros. I don't mention anything about Patreon or anything like that, and that would have been ideal to do that. So maybe it's better just to launch it on Friday, and then just post it a bunch of times and go semi-hard. I don't want to go too hard with this. And so actually, here's just a little favor. And I know I ask a lot from a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. And hey, totally up to you guys. The fact that you listen to me fucking ramble on is amazing. But when I eventually put this out, so hopefully it's Friday. Let's say it's Friday. It's gonna be Friday, folks. It's gonna be Friday. Fucking, that's me inappropriately slamming my beer onto the table, which I probably shouldn't have done. But it's going to be Friday, and when you see it, what I would ask you to consider, So I'm not asking you to do anything particular. I'm just asking you to consider if you can give this a little bit of social media love. I don't want anybody to share it or put any pressure on anybody else, but maybe just when you see the posts pop up on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter or wherever the hell I fucking choose to post it, and you see it, just give it a little like. Maybe just put a random comment in the comments, and just leave it at that. You don't have to share it. You don't have to, tag your mates or anything like that. Maybe this is me being a little bit paranoid about just taking this next step about asking people for money. I'm a little bit gun shy, but I'm still trying to look at this as a bit of a soft launch. But I think if people can see that others are sort of organically, naturally sort of interacting with it without sort of going, making a big song and dance to other people and saying, hey, everyone should support Andy, blah, blah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That just feels weird. So in this case anyway, because it's just, I don't know. Patreon has all this baggage. It carries baggage. It's weird. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Anyway. I won't mention names or bands that sort of tarnished it, but my Aussie mates might know who they are. So yeah, just something to consider. If you see it, give it a little like, a little love heart. Maybe leave a comment, just say, hey, awesome, blah blah blah. Even if you're not going to participate in it, and I am not going to hold it against you. I only expect, and even Patreon's really good with their sort of tutorials. They talk about percentages of people that more than likely will show interest and ultimately commit to your campaigns. And it's just because you get X amount of listeners or supporters doesn't mean you're going to get the same amount of Patreons. So I understand that. So so no pressure. And even if you just do a little fucking fuck oath, Andy, yeah, hell yeah, bro, or whatever. Just I'm not. That's not going to commit you to having to commit to me. So Anyway, so let's say Friday that's going to all happen. We'll get it out there. Now what the fuck's the time? Oh fuck it. Okay. Well, shit. Okay. Well, let's. I want to do a couple of shout outs because some good people, some legends that are supporting me. Oh, sorry. Going back to Patreon for a moment. I think I meant to say this before. I don't know, but a massive thank you to quite a few people that listened to my fucking meltdown last week, and messaged me, and I think probably out of pity and just going, oh god, I think he needs give the dog a bone, but just giving some feedback about Patreon, and obviously on the Facebook group as well, but just saying, like, just giving some feedback and some insight, and just ultimately giving some reassurance, like just saying, hey, I'd be happy to pay, $1 a month or $5 a month or even $10 a month, and some really reassuring pieces of feedback that I've had from some really good people that surprising, because not that I wouldn't expect them or anything like that. It's just I don't know. Maybe I just have low expectations of people when it comes to asking of things. That's not on those people. It's on me, as far as the way that I approach that sort of stuff. Anyway. I've been really flattered and super humbled by some of the feedback that I've been getting from people who have more or less just said, "Fuck yeah, do it." And I will absolutely commit, and I'll do this. I'll pledge whatever. I don't know. Is it a pledge? No, it's not a pledge, is it? Anyway, whatever it is, I'll commit to whatever tier or blah blah blah. So that's cool. It's good. And it just gives me a bit of a taste of understanding potentially where it could go, or the possibilities, or just validating some of these ideas that I have in my head anyway. So you got to follow through. You got to do a bit of trial and error. And look, to be honest, guys, if this crashes and burns and it's an absolute fucking failure, then I'll run it for a few months, and then I'll just turf the whole thing, and we'll go back to whatever it was before, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I would like to think that it will be successful. It will go very well. I have lots of ideas for it. Lots of things that I won't bother sharing at the moment because I don't want to get ahead of myself. Drip feed it, baby steps. You know how it goes. So I'm optimistic as it stands right now at this time on the 26th of Feb. I'm living in the past. The 26th of April, 2020. I'm feeling optimistic. We'll see how that goes in 24 hours time. Okay, so shout out. So this is what made me think of the feedback. There's been lots of legends who've messaged me over the past week or so, and have just really sort of given me some assurance. So I'm super thankful and really appreciate that support. But some particular shout outs. One is for long-time listener, long-time supporter, Ash Gray. He is and well, he told me today actually that he started working on a fucking carrot farm of all things. And I'm like, a carrot farm, like a carrot farm. I'm like, I've never. I mean, I assume there would be carrot farms, but I've never actually heard anybody say a carrot farm before. And then he took a photo. I'm going to pretend. I mean, I'm hoping this is the case. He could have just had it in his phone, but he took a photo while he was in the tractor going through the fields with all the fucking carrots going for miles. And it was just so cool. So anyway, the reason why Ash is getting the shout out, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, is he left another review for me. So in the past, he's left a review or two on Apple Podcasts. So that was really, really good and a massive help. And he's left a review on Facebook just recently as well. So massive thank you to Ash and anyone that's in my Facebook group for the social. You will be able to see one of the threads in there has a bunch of shit that I'm giving away, different items, blah blah. So basically, the way that works is, if you do leave a review somewhere, please let me know and dump a screenshot into the thread or direct me to wherever it is, and then comment on one of the items, because most of the items, there's a few things there that I've only got one copy of. I've got a few books there that are just one-offs, but I've got some CDs and some stuff that's been donated as well from people. So you can leave a comment on some of those things, and I'll fucking get it out to you, no matter where you are in the world. I'm gonna make it happen. So Ash's got a CD going out this week, and also Lewis from Brisbane. I should have done a shout out for him last week, because he also shouted me a beer, which was fucking mad of him, like a really nice gesture. Just a nice little message that he included with that. But then just went ahead and also did a review on Podcast Addict, I think it was. So it doesn't have to be Apple or Facebook. They're just the main ones that people go to, and so it's just easy to sort of keep it nice and simple for everybody as far as a call to action's concerned. But fuck, man, guys, gals, everybody. I don't know how many women actually listen to me crap on, to be honest. I know all right, am I going to get off on a tangent? Quick tangent. So the breakdown of sort of male to female sort of listeners for Andy Social, I don't get a lot of insight as far as the analytics are concerned when it comes to podcasting, but it's pretty similar to Lord. It's going to be something like 80 to 20, or probably less than that, 85 to 15, or whatever it might be. So it's not high. There are a few women that listen to the podcast, and thank you very much. That means a hell of a lot to me, because, well, there you go. Hopefully I'm mildly entertaining, but so anyway, I don't know how many listen to these crazy talk fucking episodes. I would understand the guest episodes a little bit more, just due to just different people coming on. But anyway, I fucking digress. So coming back to what I was saying, guys, leave a review wherever you want. I honestly do not care, as long as it's somewhere in public. Somewhere that other people are going to see it. Usually places with more traffic than not is preferred, but I don't care. I'm not going to get nitty-picky with people. Lewis did Podcast Addict, left a review on there, nice little review, and he's got a CD going out to him this week as well. So a massive thank you to Lewis and Ash for those little reviews. It goes a hell of a long way. So guys, as I know, hang on one moment. I'm blaming the fact that my mouth was slightly parched. That's why my brain wasn't working properly. I'm sure a lot of you people work in the sciences. The sciences, that's right. The fucking sciences. That is a thing. The sciences, and you'll understand how all that works. Parched mouth, hazy brain. There you go. So anyway, leave a review anywhere, and you can go onto the Facebook group and fucking pick a prize, any prize, whatever the fuck you want. All right, I think that might be it. I'm starting to lose the plot, so I've been on a little bit of a roll for the time being. Also, sorry, thank you to Dan Dan Brown for sending through some stickers for his band. Always fuck up his band name. He sent me a voiced memo on Facebook giving me shit for pronouncing his band name wrong, and I can't remember now. I should have listened to it before I recorded this episode. I think it's oh no, I'm gonna fuck it up again. It's either one or the other. Ushi or Oshi? Ushi? Oshi. Maybe it's Oshi. Oshi. Hang on. Anyway, whatever. It's not whatever. Sorry, Dan. How rude of me. Anyway, I think it's Oshi, Oshie. Either way, great band, really fucking good. They are in my 2020 metal playlist, so you can fucking click on that in the podcast show notes and go and listen to their one of the songs off their latest release. So you go and check that out. But Dan sent me a bunch of stickers. That was really good. So I'm going to include them in a bunch of orders and things that are being sent out. And also thanks to Mick Goddard, Mick G Photography. He has sent through a bunch of business cards and some guitar picks, some branded guitar picks. So I'll be including them in some orders as well. I mentioned last week that Amir from Anno Domini sent through about 100 fucking copies of one of their albums, so I've got that there as well as things that I'm giving away and including in orders as well. So keep that stuff coming. I've had lots of people message me committing to sending me stuff, so excited to see what is coming. So hopefully people remember to keep sending things through, because either I'll have things for you guys as giveaways, or anyone that orders from me on Discogs or eBay or on the Lord store or whatever it might be will get all these extra little goodies along the way as well. So the gifts keep on giving. So that's it, folks. I've got another week ahead. I won't mention who I have got podcasts scheduled up with. I think I mentioned that last week. I'm going to stop doing that. I think I tried to mention that one previous week, and maybe some of them didn't go ahead. But I've got a truckload of people and some really, really fun people for you all. Actually, one last thing. I'm making some decisions this week when it comes to gear. Any of you gear nerds out there? I am more than likely going to jump on the fucking bandwagon, and I'll give props to Andrew Shug for throwing me the hook initially, but then fucking everyone else after that's pretty much validated as well. I'm going to get more than likely get the Rodecaster Pro, which is this little podcast fucking console doobie whacker thing. Hey, how's that for tech talk? So I'm more than likely going to get that. Everyone else has been jumping on the bandwagon. Shout out to Chris Asher from what is now the Drunk Dial podcast. Also Screwins, who does the Thug Mills podcast. I highly recommend checking that out. He utilizes the fuck out of this Rodecaster. He's got so many little jingles and fun things in his episodes. Hilarious guy. And Screwins has been on the Andy Social podcast in the past as well. I've actually got to get him back on very soon. But yeah, those guys have been using it. Obviously, Andrew recommended it to me as well, gave me a link, and I've been umming and ahhing over it versus some other options, and more than likely I'm going to make a commitment this week and make a purchase. I'm also upgrading my laptop, and I think I'm going to buy a couple of mics as well. So fucking look out, fucking cashed up Andy's going to go and splurge. So anyway, just when all the expenses started coming in, I just thought, why not just fucking dig myself a hole even deeper? So maybe I'm getting a little bit too cocky with this Patreon thing. Maybe I was just thinking I'm going to start making millions off it, and that's why I'm starting to spend more money. Oh, scary stuff. Anyway, that's enough. This hopefully for good reasons is the last crazy talk that'll be publicly out there. So folks listening right now, whether you're listening on the day today that it's released on Tuesday, I like how I say today when today's Sunday, but when you listen to anyway, whatever. If you're listening today, or you're listening in several weeks' time, or maybe in several months' time, or maybe fucking years down the track, and you only just got to this episode now, and you're hearing me crap on going, oh man, like just when I'm really getting used to Andy's voice, I'm really fucking enjoying him. Hey, he's such a fucking intellectual and just real fucking lovely bloke who just always has something really insightful and wise and just good stuff to say. Oh, fucking, just what an incredible guy. Oh, what a shame that, I'm not going to get any more of this. Well, hopefully in even years to come, I'll still have a Patreon page. And so if you go over to Well, fuck, I don't even know what it's going to be. Patreon. Just search for the Antisocial Podcast on Patreon, and you'll be able to find it. And then you can access these amazing, insightful things that I create, where it's just packed full of wisdom and just yeah. So anyway, I'm really ending this fucking crazy talk on a high note here. So yeah. Anyway, so this will be the last one, hopefully. This will be the last one for hopefully ever, and we'll be up and running with Patreon next week. So for anyone that does jump over to Patreon with me, thank you very much in advance. I can't fucking describe and put into words what it means to me when people sort of help give me a boost and support the shit that I give a shit about. So it's super cool, and it just means a lot. And I always say the same things over and over again, because I'm just fucking poor with word choice. So, but the meaning is there, the thought is there. So it does mean a hell of a lot. So thank you to those. And for anybody else that doesn't come over to Patreon, thank you so much for just continuing to listen to the fucking Antisocial Podcast, and anything you can do to share the episodes around, the guest episodes, and really enjoying them. That means a hell of a lot. I may waffle a little bit more on the guest episodes, because I think I'm going to have to try and plug and redirect people to Patreon every once in a while. I've got to work that out. That's on my to-do list. But more or less, we're gonna make a bit of a divide here. So thank you very much for everybody, no matter what you do. The fact that you listen to me now is fucking incredible, and we'll see what the future holds. Enjoy the episode this week. As always, fucking share it around, a bit of social media love, message all the guests, fucking go through all the guests, message them right now and tell them that you fucking love them. Just go through, even the ones that you don't love, just message them and say that you fucking love them, because that'll mean a lot to them. They'll probably get a laugh, probably think that you're a bit of a loony, but it'll go a long way. So please keep sharing the love out to as many guests as possible that have been on the podcast, because I've got lots more coming for you. All right, let's wrap this up. Bye-bye. See you later. Ta-ta. Ta-ta. Bye. Larry.